Welcome back to our movie recap. Today we are going to continue with our Heroes on Call, the Trauma Code Part 2, which is starting from episode 5. Episodes start out with Kang Hyuk's blunt outburst at reporters has gone viral. While some find it hilarious, turning it into a meme, others, especially the Minister of Health, are furious. The PR disaster reflects poorly on both her and the hospital, adding to the growing tensions. Inside the hospital, the directors are torn. On one hand, they enjoy watching Kang Hyuk's reputation take a hit. On the other, the hospital's own reputation has also suffered. To make things worse, Kang Hyuk remains defiant. He has emailed the board, demanding the budget increase and even threatening to go straight to the minister if his demands aren't met. Meanwhile, Jae-won stumbles across shocking information about Blackwings, revealing that it's a private military company specializing in VIP protection, medical extractions, and combat operations in war zones. As Jae-won reads more, he becomes uneasy, especially when Kang Hyuk catches him looking at the information on his laptop. Kang Hyuk casually remarks that he took the job because it paid better, but whether he's joking or serious remains unclear. Before Jae-won can dwell on it, chaos erupts in the ER. A massive traffic accident has flooded the hospital with critically injured patients. The scene is devastating. A bridge collapse has caused multiple vehicles to crash, including a bus that fell off the edge. There could still be survivors trapped below. Without hesitation, Jae-won and Kang Hyuk rush to the crash site to treat them on the spot. While doctors are focused on saving lives, the hospital's board members are more concerned about costs, worrying about how much treating so many patients will impact their bottom line. They're even more shocked when they discover that Kang Hyuk and Jae-won are already at the scene, prioritizing the rescue over budget concerns. This stark contrast highlights the two conflicting sides of the hospital, one that saves lives and one that counts costs. At the crash site, Kang Hyuk quickly takes charge, teaching Jae-won how to assess casualties, separate the critically injured, and ensure no time is wasted. The minister watches anxiously from her office, seeing firsthand how Kang Hyuk operates under extreme pressure. With no time to spare, Kang Hyuk entrusts Jae-won with a critical surgery back at the hospital, believing that his protege is ready to step up. Jae-won, still uncertain, is guided by Jang Mi, who supports him as he performs the high-risk procedure. Back at the crash site, Kang Hyuk faces a difficult choice: which patients to save first. He ultimately decides to bring all critical patients back to Hankook University Hospital, despite the logistical nightmare. He calls Yurim, urging him to get to the OR immediately. At the same time, Ji-young convinces her father that he needs to step up and help, finally pushing him into action. Inside the hospital, Young-won joins the surgeries as the anesthesiologist, stepping into a role that has remained unfilled for years. Whether he's doing this to genuinely help or to continue spying on Kang Hyuk remains uncertain. Meanwhile, Yurim struggles in surgery, proving to be rusty and unprepared. His panic nearly causes complications, but Kang Hyuk arrives just in time to calm him down and stabilize the patient. Elsewhere, Jae-won is deep in his own battle, handling a patient impaled by a metal pipe. Although he removes it, the excessive bleeding proves to be overwhelming. He struggles with the next steps, and Kang Hyuk steps in, guiding him to properly cauterize and control the bleeding. Despite successfully completing the surgery, Jae-won blames himself for not handling it better, feeling like he let Kang Hyuk down, but the narrative around Kang Hyuk is about to change. Thanks to his heroic work at the crash site, the media shifts its tone, praising him and the trauma unit for the remarkably low mortality rate after such a severe accident. Outside the hospital, a press conference is held, and the directors brace for bad news, expecting Kang Hyuk to announce that many patients didn't survive. Instead, he does the opposite. He proudly announces that all 3 critical patients survived and will fully recover. In a rare moment of appreciation, Kang Hyuk publicly credits Jae-won, Jang Mi, and the other department heads for their incredible efforts. Even Rim receives recognition for his contributions in the OR. And just when the directors think they've survived the ordeal, Kang Hyuk drops one final bombshell. He announces his plan to expand the trauma unit into a full trauma center, putting the director on the spot to approve it in front of the entire hospital and press. With the pressure now on the board, Will they finally support Kang Hyuk's vision? Or will they fight back harder than ever? Episode 6 starts with Kang Hyuk riding high after his heroic actions during the bridge accident have gone viral. He's so pleased with himself that he even leaves comments on social media posts, calling himself sexy. Jang Mi finds it ridiculous and gives him a quick smack before walking off. Trying to justify his antics, Kang Hyuk tells Jae-won that he's doing this for the hospital's reputation, and it seems to be working. Even director Choi is surprised to learn that the budget increase for the trauma unit has been approved. But Choi isn't celebrating. He sees this budget boost as a personal attack, especially since the helicopter was called out 5 times in the last week alone. He pushes director Hong to make things harder for Kang Hyuk. Meanwhile, Yurim, grateful for Kang Hyuk's role in saving his daughter, is actually happy about the funding news, no surprise there. On the other hand, Jae-hun is determined to bring Kang Hyuk down, turning it into a personal vendetta. But Kang Hyuk doesn't have time for petty fights, he's busy saving lives in surgery. Then a new problem arises. A fresh recruit, Agnes, a Catholic, arrives on the scene. Kang Hyuk is irritated, especially when another emergency comes in, but this time, the hospital's helicopter is grounded. The National Rescue Unit has taken over, a move clearly orchestrated by the directors, mostly Jae-hun, to prevent Kang Hyuk from wasting resources. Now he has to jump through hoops just to get the helicopter authorized. Thinking on their feet, Kang Hyuk and Jae-won decide to help the patient themselves. They direct the rescuers to the entrance of the hiking trail and use a brand new ambulance parked outside. Kang Hyuk's driving skills are borderline terrifying, and by the time they reach the site, Jae-won is dizzy and needs a moment to recover. They manage to get the patient into the ambulance, where Jang Mi takes the wheel, while Kang Hyuk and Jae-won try to save the patient who's suffering from a brain hemorrhage. They arrive at the hospital, but too much time has passed. Even if the patient survives, they'll likely be left in a vegetative state, a harsh reminder of how putting finances before lives can have devastating consequences. Back at the hospital, Yurim informs Kang Hyuk that the grounded helicopter is Director Hong's doing. Furious, Kang Hyuk confronts Hong, shoving him before storming out, knowing this could have serious fallout. Hong is beyond angry. He threatens to destroy Kang Hyuk, claiming he has dirt on him linked to his controversial past with the Black Wings. Despite the pressure, Yurim stands firm, choosing to support Kang Hyuk after what he did for his daughter. Later, Jangmi takes Jae-won up to the rooftop and encourages him to vent his frustrations by yelling into the vents. Though awkward at first, he eventually does it, lightening the mood with Jangmi's laughter. This helps Jae-won release some of the tension he's been holding in. Kang Hyuk then calls Jae-won to the cafeteria for a heart-to-heart. He opens up about his father's death in a car accident and how no hospital would take him in. This experience drives Kang Hyuk to ensure that no patient ever feels that kind of abandonment again. He reassures Jae-won that it's okay to struggle, as long as he keeps searching for his purpose. Getting nowhere with Rim, Hong hands director Choi a detailed report on Kang Hyuk, aiming to use it to get rid of him. Things take a dark turn when a patient is brought in, and officials bar Kang Hyuk from the OR. It turns out his unauthorized ambulance surgery led to the patient becoming brain dead, and the family plans to go public and press charges for excessive treatment. With the patient's life on the line, Kang Hyuk rushes off to find answers, tracks down Dr. Kim, urging him to overrule Director Hong's decision and let him operate. As head of emergency medicine, Dr. Kim has the power to make that call, but time is running out. Justice learns about the press conference and immediately tells Kang Hyuk. But Kang Hyuk refuses to stop, stating that the only thing that matters right now is saving the patient. If he abandoned surgery to fight for his position, he'd be admitting guilt in the eyes of the public. At the press conference, Hong was caught sweet-talking the fire commissioner, which led to the commissioner stepping down in an ongoing police investigation. Kim personally asked Kang Hyuk to fly out and bring him back safely. Kang Hyuk doesn't hesitate, and Captain Lee has been moved to an undisclosed facility to protect him from the rebels. The situation is dire. Blood left, the surgery becomes even more dangerous. With no other options, Kang Hyuk amputates Captain Lee's arm, knowing this is his only chance at survival. Back at Hankook University Hospital, Yurim faces his own. Meanwhile, in Korea, the request for helicopter authorization has hit yet another bureaucratic roadblock. Instead of greenlighting it immediately, Hospital officials are holding a video conference to discuss the financial implications, further delaying life-saving efforts. As things escalate in South Sudan, Gyeongwon gets a frantic call from Jo-eun. In the finale episode, Kang Hyuk stands outside the Blackwings base, facing a life or death decision. Without hesitation, he drives straight. Ambulance is arranged for their return home. Before they leave, Jong Mi confronts Gyeongwon, demanding the truth. Without hesitation, he admits he was spying for director Choi. However, he never steps, officially becoming part of the trauma team. Back in Korea, the Jaewon and Yurim step up to perform the life-saving procedure. The tension inside the OR is palpable. But rather than showing the surgery itself, the scene jumps forward. Kang Hyuk awakens post-op. He immediately questions Jaewon, wanting to understand his thought process. Jaewon made a bold call, cutting away nearly a third of his liver to save him. Though Kang Hyuk warns him that this decision could have killed him, he also recognizes Jaewon's growth. For the first time, he continues fighting for medical helicopters, and public support is overwhelmingly in his favor. This forces the government to introduce new policies, ensuring better emergency. What happened to the man who once inspired him to become a doctor? The emergency board meeting is held, with Choi expected to reject the heliport proposal. But after reflecting on Kang's new helicopter flying off to save another life, this is the